and welcome back to a bit of a different video for today. I've decided to do a video on what I do to make maps look a bit better and make them a bit more real and add things that they haven't normally got. This can easily be done on PC and console. We're on Thornton here. I've just come on here and literally haven't done anything, so we're going to start off on here and I'm going to show you what I can do with this, and obviously you can do this as well. Sort of all platforms, you've all got landscaping and placeable item packs. So as I say, we're on Thornton and nothing's been done, so I'm going to start off with this house. So we go on construction. Obviously we've got a bit of grass there in the driveway, so we'll go straight to painting and we'll go with the same texture that's there. It's a lot easier on maps with doing stuff that you can actually buy the outside surrounded land as well. So we'll just catch all that, and then so that has basically gone. So on here obviously there's some flat grass like that, so we can just switch to plants and go and find some grass. I always find making the square into a circle is a little bit better sometimes, because stuff ends up being a bit too square. Obviously you can make it a bit bigger and cover all that. So that bit there is okay. You could do what you like with the back garden. You could make it really short, flat, so it looks like it's mowed. So there's like little bits like the bit along here. So that's that. So with regard to placeables, what I like to do is go around the map doing what I want to do with landscaping, and basically then in your placeables, I think console has probably got a couple of placeable packs. So the likes of this, it's just a case of scooting along and finding what you want. I'm going to have to go and find the flower pots from out of here. I think they're in this section. I'll just try and do this as quick as I can. So there we go, we'll just pick something. So I normally do the outside landscaping and grass and bits and pieces everywhere, and then I go through all my placeables and scoot from place to place, put in whatever it is appropriate in the right place. So we could have gone along here as well with that grass, but sort of that's made that look a lot different straight away. So you could add a parked car in there or whatever. So I know that's in the construction as well. Not sure if consoles have got placeable cars. You could add a shed in the back garden. So if you don't want to keep buying cars and stuff to place in certain places, you can always just pick them out of the placeables, and then they're not on your machinery list. They're in here somewhere. I've got quite a few packs in here. So let's say we've got that, and we can put that there. So if we just scoot back through here, There's a couple of old bits and pieces. So we could have that old digger, for instance, just sat up over here. But then what I would go on from doing from the house, when you finish the house, is then, so obviously this has been here for a little while, so we'll go back onto painting. Whenever I do grass on stuff that isn't grass, I like to put the green texture down. Because it just looks a bit weird when you've got grass coming through tarmac. So we'll just skip on there to find some more grass. So obviously, as I say, this has been there for quite a long time. So that's going to be growing away in the grass there. And what I'd probably do to that as well is then add some bushes in there, and that will make that look like it's been there for quite a long time. Like so. So over here, what else I was going to do was, so we'll go on to our green again. Like I say, I do try and keep it a circle as much as I can, rather than the square. Try and make everything a bit more natural than square looking. So we're back onto plants and get some grass. And we'll just fill that up and try and make it look a bit more, natural. And then what you could do with that is, I do use some stones around the place. So obviously on console you haven't got easy dev, so but with easy dev on here I can just cheat some stones into here. So just go through the list and find some stones. There we go. Right. So we just tip them out right in this corner. So that just makes things look a bit more natural and old, and some stuff around in that corner. And following on from that corner, what I like to do is get some of the older machinery as just maybe some junk machinery, something maybe you don't even use on the farm. Like this old hay bob. And what I can actually do on PC is set the dirt on it, so I go to 100% on that, so it looks used and quite old. You can obviously do the wear on it as well. So what I would do with that is maybe stick it up in here. I'm going to drop that off there. go back on construction. So we've got that there. So with regard to this decoration, we'll go and find some other old junk, like just random sort of appropriate bits and pieces. We've got some pallets there. I like to try and make it look like it's natural as possible. And what I normally do with that, because some of the placeables take the grass away, so I go back to the grass and just stick a grass back round it, like so. While I'm there, I'll just show you on this grain building in placeables again. I have got a, I don't think it's that first one I come to, there is an electric box on there that does hum. I don't think it is this one, but I'm just going to put this up to here. So you could put a electric box here, so it looks a bit more like you've got an electric box for your electrics for all your buildings and stuff. So there's a lot more you can do with placing sort of junk around here, or there is a lot of stuff you could do there with all the placeables you've got and the landscaping. So another thing that I thought about the other day, which gave me the idea for doing this video, was actually making a footpath. So if you sort of find an appropriate area sort of to and from, you could literally make the footpath. So you could literally make a footpath through your fields. So we'll just go along there. Not sure the workers would like that greatly, but so we can carry on here and head straight over to that other bit. As long as it's quite small, worker might bypass it. We'll just carry on over to here. So there we go, we've got a footpath going across the field. So moving over now to the other side of the farm. You just carry on. Obviously this is only going to be about a 5 or 10 minute video, but if you're going to do this it could take quite a while, but I think it's quite worth it to make the farm look more realistic. It doesn't seem to like that being that small, so go a bit bigger. So obviously that's all just flat green, so we'll put one here, and then what I like to do is put in obvious places where there's going to be water or there's likely to be grass. Put random other little bits around. It'll probably show more on something that's not got its own concrete base, like that. And then where there's nothing at all, we've got in there. So you can then swap to grass, and obviously we go to circle. So we'll go down there. So we put a bit in there, and a bit on that corner, and there. So if you get lined up and go steady, you can just go all the way down. There's quite a few flat areas on Thornton, for example, so you can just go in there and fill all them up. So that's obviously made that look a bit more natural. So one of the other things I'd like to do is put loose hay or straw on the floor. So if you were going to use this as a straw barn, it would look a bit more real with all the mess you'd have on the floor. So obviously I'm going to cheat this into here. So we'll just nip back and straw should come up somewhere in a minute. There we go. So I find using a telehandle and a bucket for this is quite the easiest way. So if you just set it right, you put as much or as little in as you want, and then just gently go. Obviously hit something there. Just make it a little bit messy. If you dump a load somewhere, it doesn't matter too much. This is actually going surprisingly well from how it normally goes. So obviously only put it in the bay, roughly in the bay you're going to use. So I'm just going to do an example there now. So if you end up dumping a lot in one place and end up with something like that, what I do then is basically make sure I'm on the flat, and only come down to a certain height, and it'll only pick up to a certain height, so you can just basically clear all that lot back down to where you want it. To be a bit careful as I end up picking the whole lot back up. So obviously you can do this with, you know where that's going to be from there. Hay's next to it, that's cool. So you can do the same with hay after you've moved your place right away. See, that's overshot there, so that's what I was expecting it to do in that other one. So, and then we just go over the whole area only so high, like so. So obviously I've just cheated these on there just so I can show. So let's get them lined up. But obviously you stack them in there properly. So that'll give you a straw barn with all your mess on the floor. So as long as you don't come near it with a bucket on it, mate, you're never going to pick it up. So you could put a load of fertilizer in this building on this side or something, and have just some machines in the middle bays. But I like to make everything sort of quite tight and full up as possible, so it looks like it's busy, old, and it's been there for a while. So the other thing you could do if you've got a wide enough space is make yourself a lay-by. So if we went on painting again, just do this very roughly. Obviously you can take as much time as you want. I would probably take a bit more time over it to make it a bit better in detail. So I've done this recently on another map, so make quite a biggish sort of lay-by, and then what I'll do is go into decoration and find some like bollards. These things here I like to use. So we could go there. I know that ground's come out, but we can sort that out in a minute. And you can go as far apart or as close as you like with those. So let's see where the end is. So it's there, so we'll go there and there. So that'll probably do. So we'll just go back on landscaping again to put some grass there, because obviously they've been there for a while. So I'm just doing this roughly. I'd say I would normally take a bit more time over that. Should have done the road landscaping first, because it might take that out. So we need to go to sculpting, and if you go to soften, that should just take that back out off the road enough. So that's that. And what you could also do there, which I'm going to have to do here because we're right that far away from it, is just pop open this gate. So for our lay-by, I've got a couple of things. I've got a van, the little transport trailer, and there is for PC there's actually a hot dog stand which I've turned into a burger van. So if you haven't got that in your console, you could always use that. So that's now up an hour lay-by, so you can come and get something to eat. So I hope that's given you a few ideas how you can make the farm look a whole lot better by just doing a few bits and pieces. It can take you quite a bit of time, but I think if you're staying on the map, it's worth it. Obviously, for if you're on PC and you've got easy dev, there is something else that I've found lately is easier to get rid of trees. So if you've got annoying trees that are in the way, obviously if you're on console you cut them down. I'm not sure if you've got the lizard tracks on the console. Now the lizard tracks I find the best thing to get rid of trees, but again if you're on the easy dev, all you've got to do is go down to delete objects input and make sure that's on. So we think this offending tree here is this one. I haven't got a crosshair on there because I've got it turned off, or I've got the mod to get rid of it. So this is the offending tree, so you've literally got to go right up to it and be practically looking at it and press delete, and that's gone. I'm not sure what else you can do with that. I know you can do trees. That great big thing in there that was overhanging is now gone. So I hope that's given you a few ideas. There's a hell of a lot you can do on maps to make them a lot better, and the farms a bit more decorative. So if you've got any ideas yourself, help anybody else out, do drop them in the comments below. If you've got any further ideas, but I hope that's given you a bit of an idea how to make things a bit better. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm now going to go and have a nice greasy burger. So thank you very much for watching, and catch you in the next one. Cheers.